Welcome back to the series on your unique thumbprint, the thing that will pay you more money and allow you to climb that ladder of success, whatever that may look like. So today we're diving into why being different isn't just an asset, right? It's not just an asset, but it's your superpower that you really need to focus on if you're going to stand out in any corporate world. Here's the thing, comfort is there to keep you safe. But it's those that dare to be different that really break through and make that bigger impact. So ready to embrace what we need to look at to get that unique ability, that unique competitive advantage of how you stand out? Let's dive in. So standing out in that corporate world brings huge benefits. Number one is that you're memorable. People will remember for what you stand for. No matter where you go and whether you jump from job to job, which you don't really need to, by the way, you just need to figure out how to negotiate and how to climb that ladder in the right way. I've got other videos on that, by the way. But for this, understanding how you stand out within the corporate world will make you memorable. That's real key, okay? Look, if people don't know who you are, then how are you ever going to be lined up for that next promotion? Number two, you attract opportunities. So many people just sit there waiting for that clock to turn till 5 p.m. No, you need to make opportunities happen and you need to attract them. So there's two parts to this. Authentically resonating with other people allows you to be recognized as the person that could be ready for that opportunity. So you must not just be flying under the radar. You've got to be out there and you've got to be showing people, you've got to be signaling your levels of confidence, your abilities more often, doing things that aren't just your job to show people that you are ready for that next step. And people and you will attract opportunities. But most of all though, you've got to make opportunities happen. If you see an opportunity of how your company could start to scale or solve bigger problems, or you see the issues, then you add value by going out there and highlighting that opportunity and how you can be a part of it. And thirdly as well, when you are the leader in this industry, you inspire others. And if you inspire more others, that also leads to more opportunities, whether that be promotions or more opportunities from other people that want to work with you, okay? So make sure that you're doing that and you're becoming a leader, not just an employee. So by now, if you've watched the other videos, you've probably got the A Players 100K per year playbook. If you haven't, it's in the description. Just go and click on the link and you can download that straight away. But if you don't want to do that, that's fine. Here's some steps that you can do to start making yourself different when it comes to being in the corporate world. Number one, own your story. What challenges or experiences shaped you? What makes you unique? Share them. What makes you relatable and authentic. You see, I mentioned this in the last video. I own multiple businesses and got lots of friends that own businesses. And they'll say, Lewis, what do you think about, if they're employing for an executive level person, maybe it's like a director or C-suite, then it's like, well, we've got this CV, we've got this CV. And I'm like, okay, well, the jobs are both the same. They've got the same qualifications. What makes them really stand out? And that's what people look for then, is how do people really stand out? So they're looking for that story. What got you here? What have you been through? Yeah. What's the movie of your life? Tell us about that. And that's what these interview questions are for, you see. So forget going and having to go for new interviews. Just become really interested anyway. Own your story. And if there's good things or bad things in that story, then yeah, look, the more authentic you are, the more relatable you are. If they don't like it, the job role was never right for you in the first place. Okay? So own that story. Second, you've got to leverage your strengths. Are you out of the box thinking, for example, right? You use that drive, that innovation that you may have to think about how do you build greater relationships, okay? Your strengths are unique to you. Like the first video that we showed about finding your unique thumbprint. How can you use that unique thumbprint to really get that role that you want, that high paid role? How do you stand out more by demonstrating to more people that you have those strengths and that it's just a walk in the park for you? Understand your strengths and other people will understand it too. And number three is you've got to be bold, okay? You've got to be bold in taking the right steps. If you think back in your life to everything that got you to where you are today, it's been because you've made a decision. So Take the right decisions more often. Analyze them. What options have you got here? What could you do about it? Even if it's the wrong option, you take learnings from it. So many people just don't have that boldness in them, and they know they should be doing it. You think about it. When was the last time you had a deep conversation with your friends and they're talking about their job and so and so, so and so? Well, life doesn't have to be like that if you're always being bold and taking those next steps yourself. It becomes very exciting. Telltale sign for this is if anybody is ever looking at the clock and waiting for 5 o'clock to come around, they're in the wrong role. It should never happen. So always be bold and take the steps, because if you don't, you'll regret it. You can never get time back. So those 3 examples I've given you are from the 8 Players 100K per year playbook, and there's lots more in there as well. Now, the main philosophy behind it, the whole purpose of doing that, what underpins it, is that being different doesn't have to be difficult. You just need to stand out a little bit more by being a little bit different. Otherwise, you just become vanilla and you fall into everybody. Yeah, that person's okay. Yeah, but you don't want to be that person. You want to be unique. Sometimes you might cause a little bit of trouble. Look, at least you're exciting and make it and memorable, right? But as long as it's with the right intent, you will always start to move forward. So here's how you start to turn this stuff into success. Number 1, solve problems creatively. The bigger problems that you solve for people, the more that you will get paid for it. So don't see challenges of like, oh, woe is me. See it as an opportunity that you can start to add more value and get paid for it here by solving the problem. Number 2, be an advocate for change. The world does not stand still. Look where we were 5 years ago. AI was around, but nobody was really talking about it. Now look at the way it is. In fact, it's probably becoming a little bit too much now that people are starting to not pay attention to it a bit more. But that's changing the world, right? And a lot of people still don't understand it. So if you don't change and learn the new things, then you will always get left behind as well. So be an advocate for change. Always stay in front of the game. Learn more, learn often, make sure it's a daily habit to increase your learning all the time. And number 3, you've got to have that authenticity, and not just authenticity, you've got to use it. You've got to use it in your network. How do you network with people? Whether that's physically, you're going and physically visiting people, or whether it's that you're online, or, here's a quick tip. You got to do both, right? Have a day in your week, a morning in your week, where you are out there networking, because your network is your net worth. Sounds a little bit cliche, but it is. Look, if you want people to spend more money with you, it's people spending more money with you. No AI or robot makes that decision. People do, and they always will. So you've got to be good with people, getting to know them. Unless you're selling a very low value product and you're good at marketing and you get it out there, great, that could be your model. But if you want to get paid more, you need to start thinking about how do business owners and entrepreneurs start to sell very high ticket items, because your job salary in a corporate is a high ticket item. And a lot of people don't think about it this way, but you're an investment to somebody, right? If someone is going to pay you 100K plus per year, they need to see a return on that 100K plus. So how do you become authentically valuable is key. Networking with the right people, whether it's the people in your company, whether it's the people in other companies, is essential. So you've got to get good at it. So your differences are your superpower. In fact, there is a big trap here as well, and that is avoiding the trap of becoming too vanilla in your career, i.e. you try and impress everybody and you get nowhere. We'll cover that in this next video, so go and check out this next video and you'll be able to avoid that trap. So all the stuff that you learned in this video can be applied. Remember, if you found this useful and you feel like it could help some other lives as well in helping them climb their corporate career, then it really helps if you subscribe and like to this, and also share it with somebody that you may know so it can help them drive further forward as well and break through their financial barriers. Catch you in the next video.